Hi everyone, it's Julie. Here I am today. We're gonna do a get ready with me with Urban Decay. I had so much fun today. I used to work back at Sephora in the early 2000s, and Urban Decay was a staple brand at our store. It was known for grunge and grit, colors and pop, creativity, artistry. It is still an amazing brand. I'm gonna show you that today. Come with me now as we explore this brand after many years of not using it and hearing some very disturbing news about Urban Decay getting boring. All right, let's see if that's really true. All this on my hand was swatched today at Ulta, and I'm not seeing any trace of boring there. Are there other brands that have similar things to offer since the rise of social media and influencers? Sure, absolutely. But Urban Decay still has something to offer, and I am very impressed with today's look, if I must say. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I am 45, I'm going to be 46 this year, and this brand is so nice. I cannot wait to show you how much fun that I had applying this makeup. Did I go all out? Did I add blue eyeliner to my regime today? No, I did not, but that's just not my thing. Do they have that option for those people that like those kind of colors? Absolutely. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to go through some of their newer products and some of their old, and we're going to see if they still have the grit, still have the grunge, and if they're still a fun brand. All right, come with me now. Let's do it. Today, we're going to try some Urban Decay. I have heard so many various views on this brand for many, many years. I worked at Sephora in the early 2000s, actually mid 2000s. Urban Decay was one of our staple brands that everybody came to the store to see. I just remember a lot of glitter, a lot of vibrant colors, a lot of shimmer in the foundation, the baked bronzer, the surreal skin foundation, the eyeliners, the 24/7 eyeliners, the palettes. Before the naked palettes, they had these beautiful pop-up makeup palettes that were so wonderful and creative. They're very edgy. And even before I worked at Sephora, they were known for their nail polishes, their eyeshadows that look like the storm drain top on the eyeshadows. I really love the legacy of this brand, and I think there's been a lot of criticism about Urban Decay recently about being boring. I've heard terms used like boring. I've heard not cutting edge, not innovative, and it just really sparked my interest. I'm like, I haven't tried Urban Decay in quite a while. I am 45, I'm gonna be 46 this year. So I do typically use less colored eyeshadows and liners compared to when I was younger. My concern is to look my best, to look as young as possible, and my focus is on my skin. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like to have fun. I still like to have fun with makeup. I am an art teacher. I teach elementary age students, and I have a fine arts degree. And I have a history of, knowing a lot about the fine arts. I took dance lessons when I was a child. I was in theatrical productions in high school. I did visual arts. I played piano, guitar, clarinet. So I'm kind of familiar with the arts and creativity. So Urban Decay, it's definitely a creative brand from the way I see it. But the problem is that ever since Sephora and Ulta have come onto the scene, we have seen a lot of different brands delivering that edgy look, and they're not necessarily urban, and they're not necessarily associated with decay, and they're not grunge, but they're delivering these artistry type color schemes. And then also the influencers and the proliferation of social media, we have a lot of influencers influencing what is popular and what people are seeking. Urban Decay has a lot to compete with nowadays, but are they still a good brand? Are they still delivering great products? Are they still delivering colorful and exciting products? I went to Ulta today. I picked up a lot of the Urban Decay makeup, and I literally went from left to right, just tried everything, literally everything on my my wrist, and you can see right off the bat, their pencils, their lip liners, their brow, their eyeshadows. There's some eyeshadows on here. They're not budging. They're definitely long wear, so they're still delivering long wearing waterproof products, which I think is awesome. They're still delivering color, grungy, acid, like neon, all colors of the rainbow, murky, putrid colors, and then they've got the bright angelic colors, punk rock colors. So they got a lot of everything going on still. We're gonna go to my bag that I selected that I thought would be helpful. I've got foundation in here from Urban Decay, eyeshadow, eyeliner, I've got lip liner and lips. So let's get into it. Let's start with the complexion. I'm gonna start with Urban Decay foundation. All right, the first product that we have to try is the Face Bond. I looked at the Face Bond swatches in store at Ulta, and I also looked at their Hydra Tint. I got shade 13 light, medium, cool olive. I found that both formulas were really nice. They have a good color selection for me. And I did notice they had some really dark shades, so that's good too, and some really light shades. The Face Bond is going to be really mattifying. It's a very thin texture, and it's going to give you that really thin matte look. And this happens to be waterproof, 24-hour wear, 2% niacinamide, and it's a can't feel coverage, so it's a lightweight coverage. It's got a really nice applicator. It's self-setting. I don't think that you would necessarily need a powder, so if you're not someone that is a fan of powder, you'd probably like this foundation. It's water, sweat, and humidity proof, smudge and transfer resistant, and there's no powder needed. 3% niacinamide is a formula clinically tested to improve skin texture and feel after 4 weeks. And it's a can't feel coverage, feather light, lightweight, medium buildable coverage, non-comedogenic. Again, the Hydra Tint felt really good. I almost grabbed that one, but they didn't have all the testers out at my Ulta, so I wasn't as sure about the color. Where this one, I found a color I really like, so I went ahead and picked up this one. I think this is probably the higher rated of the two anyways, but if you're someone that has more mature skin and is afraid of things settling, I would look into their Hydra Tint product. I'm not sure if that's the name. This is the packaging. And I found that a lot of the Urban Decay packagings need shaking. They're lip stains, they're liquid eyeshadows, so there's a lot of shaking involved. They even have an eyeliner that needs shaking. And I've got a beauty blender type sponge ready. This is the one from Seint Perfector sponge. I really like this one a lot better because it gets bigger. I've noticed that the beauty blender sponges are not as big when you get them wet. I don't know what happened, or if I'm just imagining things a little differently than what they are. This was shade 13 light medium olive. It took me a while to find the right shade because I thought I would be in the light range, and I found the light colors to be really pink and dark. And then I went to the fair shades, which I've never been a fair skin tone, and I found those to be closer, but I was afraid they're still too light. So I thought, well, let me try the medium shades. And strangely enough, this shade was in the medium range and it was actually perfect. So let me just show you. It's got a really nice tip on it and great to throw in your bag. Kind of the Dior face and body type feel, how you just kind of, it's like that soft bottle. But I'm just going to kind of swatch this right here so you can see how nice of a color that is. And it blends perfectly with my neck. So I think what I'm going to do, because this is such a thin consistency, I am going to use my fingers. And I am really liking the way this sits on the skin. It's very natural. I imagine you could probably build this. So let's go ahead and apply it. We're going to just do these circular motions over the cheek area in a downward motion. I'm not going up. And I'm going to avoid the eye area. We'll have to use something different because I did not pick up the concealer. This is really, really beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and apply this all over, and then we'll come back with the Perfector sponge. I'm going to put a little bit of this on my ear because I notice it kind of helps with the red tone, and I've got a little bit of a redness to my ear here. Okay, look at the difference. I think that's a good match for me. I think that's a really good match. And I can see that it is buildable. It's been so long since I've tried Urban Decay anything, but not because I think it's a bad brand, just because I've been using Seint and Dior. I've always been into Dior. It's kind of my luxury thing, my splurge to do Dior products, but I was almost going to do a review of the Dior spring collection, but I just could not bring myself to purchase a $75 eyeshadow palette. I'm finding that, you know, one thin layer of this seems to be the kind of coverage that I prefer, but just to be fair, let's go back and do another layer and see what happens, like if you want more coverage. Growing up, I used to have a lot of acne and pitted skin. I had one laser treatment in my 20s when I worked at Sephora, and it dried my skin out so much I thought, oh my gosh, I've aged myself forever. But I think it might have helped my skin because it looks pretty good. Okay, I have my magnifying mirror. Looks good in certain areas. I know that we don't always need a magnifying mirror on hand to look at this stuff, and people are not going to be looking at you this critically. But I would say definitely clinging to the pores in the chin area, some dry areas. I did have a reaction recently to something that I used. I'm not sure what it was, but it does look good in natural light for what it is. It's a self-setting foundation. I don't think I need any more coverage, but I am going to do one more layer just to see how this works over what I've already put down. Will it give me a little bit more coverage? I don't want to, you know, take away from the beauty of the foundation as it is right now. It does look really good, but we have a beauty blender on hand, so, or a perfector sponge. So let's just kind of see, you know, I always lose makeup on my nose. So I'm going to put a little bit more on my nose. I'm going to put some on my eye area. And if this lasts all day, that's going to be nice because, you know, a lot of long wearing foundations like the Dior and the Maybelline, they still, you know, have issues, you know, oxidizing and whatnot. All right, I like this. This looks great. Even on 45-year-old skin with texture, it looks really good. It's a very clean looking finish, and it's not pulling up or anything. It's staying put. I am going to put some on my neck just so everything looks perfected. You know, I feel like the Urban Decay philosophy is to have like that made up, perfected on stage look. But I am very impressed with this foundation and it not being a luxury brand. It looks good. Don't have a concealer from Urban Decay, so I am going to use a concealer from another brand. I'll be very candid about that, but when we get to that, I will mention what brand we're using. So again, this is the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation, waterproof, 24-hour wear in 13 light, medium, cool olive. Really like this color. It's a great color for me. I went ahead and took care of my brows because I do not have an Urban Decay brow product. I did test them in store, however, and I was very impressed. They have like a double-ended brow product. I don't know if you can see here, but it comes with like a microfine pen side for doing micro hairs, and then it comes with like a thin, like a super thin microfine pencil side. So it has the pen and the pencil, and I think they're waterproof. And I really like them, but I, for some reason, forgot to pick it up. But I really enjoyed the color selection. They have like warm colors and cool colors and really dark colors. I didn't really notice any really light colors. I did like what I see, but I went ahead and used Dior Brow Styler. This is shade Dark Brown 032, and this is a really good product. To get into the eyeshadows, so I picked up a few. I sampled a whole bunch of eyeshadow. I sampled the cream stick shadows, which I really love, but I didn't get one of those because there was a powder eyeshadow I really liked that was similar. I did the moon dust shadow, and I did the glaze on shadow, which I think is a very popular and hyped up product right now. Here is the Urban Decay moon dust shadow. Very gorgeous. And this is the shade Diamond Dog. So we're going to try that out today. It's beautiful color. It's a nice taupey color. I'm going to show you that, kind of similar to my nail color, but I thought that this one would be so nice. Look at that. This would be a nice like smoking color. I just love that smoky eye color. It's just such a pretty taupey color, and definitely could see using this with fingers. It's very microfine, very wet looking. Look at it on the finger, how gorgeous that is on the skin. And some of the other colors were really light and like a fairy pixie dust look. When there were two others, there was like a rosy taupe, and then there was a purple shade that I liked too. And then I also picked up the 24/7 shadow in Introvert. This is a beautiful rosy color. I loved this in store. It's a nice matte color. I think Urban Decay has some really nice matte selections to choose from. Okay, I'm gonna open that up. And then this color, let's get a clean finger. Okay. And we're gonna put this right next to Diamond Dog. It's really pretty. I love a rosy matte color. That really attracted me. There was a cream eyeshadow stick that was very similar to that color. And then I also picked up the 24/7 glaze on eyeshadow in Sugar Twist. It was very hard to choose. All the colors were just absolutely gorgeous, and I've heard really good things about this product, that it has a shaker in there. Let's see if we can hear it. And that it gives you the perfect dose of product on the brush. And it's a liquid formula. It is a fast and easy sensorial application, buildable glaze, color, and long wearing, resist creasing, fading, and cracking. Unscrew it, and you can see how it gives you that perfect amount of color. And I'm just going to put this right here so you guys can see the gorgeousness of that color right there. And yes, all of these are Urban Decay lip liners, eyeliners. Oh my gosh, and here's my earlier swatch of this color. Still on there. These are the brows. These are their eyeliners. I don't know what people are talking about. This brand is really fun. So those are the eyeshadows. And then the liner pencil that I picked up was the 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Rockstar. So it was really hard choosing a pencil color. Look at all the colors they have, and they are definitely 24/7. Color I selected was right here. I thought that was just a very unique purple shade. I don't know if I want to get into these kind of colors, even though this is classic Urban Decay brightness. This was really attractive, these greens here. I just don't think at my age I want to have that on my eye. These are pretty. I like some of their browns. If you like something other than black, Urban Decay has a lot of choices. They have taupes, they have browns, warm browns, cool browns, plum browns. I love the gray. I could have bought more. I would love to buy more, but I just went with something that I felt like I needed. Nuances and colors are definitely worth checking out. Fine compared to other brands. You know, they have a huge selection. Here's the 24/7 pencil. I've probably owned this before. It seems like one of the tried and true colors that have been in the line forever, but I love that alternative to black or brown. It's beautiful. So again, did I go too boring, guys? I guess I did. That was what I was attracted to. But do they have options for people that want more of this like striking, dare I say, garish colors? yes, they have options for you. So we're gonna start with the 24/7 Glide On Sugar Twist. And we're gonna shake it once more, and we're gonna apply this to the eyelid all over the lower lid. We're gonna do that. It's got me the perfect amount for my eyes. I'm gonna use my magnifying mirror, and we're just gonna apply this all over. Okay, just a really neutral, shimmery color. We're gonna kind of use it as like a base for the other colors that we're gonna be using today. We're gonna do like a smoky eye. Okay, there's another dose. Says that you can layer these. They feel cooling on the eye. Okay, so there is the 24/7 Glide On. 24/7 Glide On Liquid Shadow in Sugar Twist. Now we have the 24/7 eyeshadow. It's a matte shade in Introvert. We're gonna do this one. And I think I'm gonna use this kind of on, or in the transition area, like right in here. Just gonna use this firm side of my Seint brush. This is our eyeshadow brush. If you don't know, I am a Seint artist affiliate. I love Seint, but I love trying other makeup too. I love makeup. So we're gonna put this in the transition area right above the Glide On liquid. We'll do that with that brush. I love a blown out like rosy color. Then we're gonna take this fluffy side and just kind of blend upwards to the brow, but leaving a little bit of skin peeking in there is key. So look at that, how pretty. I know it's pink, and I know their slogan back in the 90s was, does pink make you puke? I think pink is just a color, and it can be grungy and funky just as well as other colors. I think this pink is done so well. It's not Barbie pink. It's like a dusty pink. And I want to kind of use this in a grungy way. I'm going to actually take this underneath my eyes as well. Kind of give it a little bit more of that grungy look. So all down there. I'm having a lot of fun. Shopping a whole brand is so much fun. So there is the Introvert. I really love that color. Great transitional color. Introvert. Introvert is a matte color. Now we are going to get into the Space Dog. It's a moon dust shadow. I'm really excited about using this. We're going to smoke up the eye area. I'm probably going to come in with this both before my eyeliner and after. I always like to use these colors to do that. But we're going to take our brush and see how it applies with a regular eyeshadow brush. So let's go ahead and see what we can get. Ooh, I like it already. I love this shimmer from Urban Decay. On a 45-year-old woman, it looks great. It's not chunky. Everything is so fine, you know? They blend really nicely. Maybe even just go slightly more into the crease. Having fun. and letting the introvert kind of play up in here. But isn't that a beautiful daytime smoky eye? This is the Diamond Dog. Really love that shimmery, smoky eye. Really pretty, even on my 45-year-old skin. And now we're gonna do the Rockstar 24/7 eyeliner. Excited to try this. Never forget how wonderfully smooth Urban Decay's gel liners are. This is just a nice alternative to using black. Very soft. Very soft over the shadows that I have right now. Now for the bottom, I have a different liner that I bought. For the bottom lash line, I picked up the new 24/7 liquid stick eyeliner. I love this product, and they have some really great colors in store. First of all, it has a wedge tipped applicator. Let me kind of hold that up so you can see it. Very thin wedge tip. I love this. And here is the color. Let me see if I can find space for it. Just a beautiful color there. And it also has this really cool brush. Look at that, everybody. So very helpful. I've heard you don't have a lot of playtime, but yeah, I'm seeing that there is playtime here. A little bit, but not much. Okay, and I like to use this on the bottom, but you can also use it on the top. And again, this is called Fluid Fig. This color is just so complementary to the under eye area that I don't really need to blend much. I am going to go underneath here just a little bit. Okay, so I don't normally do this much lining. You can see that this eye is definitely more open and this is definitely more closed, more of a sultry day look. So which side do you like better? Do you like this side or do you like this side? 45. Okay, so I like the color though. This color is great. And of course they have your traditional black. They have all kinds of colors in this pencil. And I love this little brush that it comes with. So handy. It is a beautiful eye. It certainly is. I love it. For an everyday look, it's so polished looking. This is the 24/7 liquid stick and fluid fig. Comes with a brush, super wonderful, smooth. I love it. And I love the 24/7 regular pencil too. So for mascara, I'm super excited to try Urban Decay's new tubing mascara. It's brand new and they have really fun colors in this. It makes me kind of think back to the day when I worked for Christian Dior, and Dior was one of the first brands to come out with like blue and purple mascara. I just couldn't resist. This is the Auburn Red shade. I thought, let's just have fun. Don't normally do an auburn shade of mascara, but we'll just play with it. Of course, I could have gone with regular black, but I wanted to have fun today and do something a little bit atypical. and it's a tubing mascara, and I do love tubing mascaras, particularly on the bottom lash line, because they don't smear or smudge, and they have to be removed with warm water, and they form little tubes around your lashes. Very lengthening, very separating usually. We'll see how this one does. This is the Auburn Red. And this is the color and brush. So you can see, definitely a reddish brown color. I can definitely see that reddish brown color coming through. I can definitely see that the mascara is lengthening. We're gonna do 2 coats. For a lighter brown mascara, this definitely, you know, shows up nicely. They even had like a bleach blonde color. I could see people with like darker skin tone using that and it being very fun, because we're looking for contrast. That's why I usually gravitate towards black mascara. It's a great mascara. It's curling my lashes. It's fluffing them out. It's lifting, curling, separating, and I'm getting lots and lots of coats on here without it feeling clumpy. But because of the color, it is very subtle. So let's do the other side. But the color is beautiful, and I can definitely see it, but do I like it as much as black? But maybe they could come out with some like purple and blue mascaras. Those would be fun. Green. Go ahead and seize the day, Urban Decay, because this is a great mascara. I love it. Really impressed with the brush. Let's do the bottom. Let's do the bottom. It's cool. I wonder if I put a set of black lashes in back of this, if it would show up even more against that backdrop. That could be cool. This is the Tube Job Lash Augmenting Tubing Mascara in Auburn Red. You can really see it over here, the reddish brown. Look at that. Went ahead and put some of the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Triple Action Concealer in light fair, I believe. Light. I did this underneath the eyes to brighten and along the bridge of the nose. And I also put on some of the Moxie Lash Sassy Lash. They're magnetic, and I just felt like we could see the red mascara underneath better, which you can. And I still have it on the bottom, but I just like to have a black backdrop. And then what I want to do is come back with the Introvert Pink Shadow and just finish off the look and do a little bit more sculpting in the eye area. So we're just going to come in here, and I want a little bit more pink. So it shows up when you have these false lashes on, you really should go a little bit further up the eye, because you'll just lose everything you did. You'll lose all your artistry that you did on the lid. I'm going to come underneath here, just do a little bit more pink. Just I like the red Auburn mascara. I think it's fun. Now for blush, Urban Decay They have blushes, they're powder, they come in a similar compact. They're pretty, but when I tried them on, they were very, very wispy light and not consistent. When I use my finger to put them on. I don't think I have any, actually these are them right here. So they were very whisper light. They were, I wouldn't say grainy, but I saw that when it was pushed in the skin, it would be darker in one place and lighter in another. It just wasn't catching my eye. So I was like, I'm not going to spend money on the blush today. I'm going to use the Introvert first to see how that translates as a blush. We'll just use that. And then we can go in maybe with the lip product that I bought, which I'm excited to try. And we can add even more color. So I think this is really soft and pretty, used as a blush. I kind of like this. This is the Introvert that we used on the lid. Kind of using it. And I have not used a powder with this foundation. I don't really see the need to. It just has such a beautiful finish all by itself. And this Introvert eyeshadow is working as a very muted blush. Look at that, everybody. So you could certainly use this, and you could use some of their other eyeshadows as the blush if you like the formula better. But of course, you're going to go through this product a lot faster. Look how pretty that is. That is just absolutely gorgeous as a blush. Introvert. Who would have thought? Just loving the eyes. I like the red mascara, or the red auburn mascara. I like the backdrop of the black false lashes. These are magnetic lashes by Moxie Lash. I highly recommend Moxie Lash if you want a magnetic lash that really holds all day. Theirs is the best. I've tried others, they just do not work. But I have always used the lash extensions at home, like Lilac Street, and I love those. They're great, but sometimes I don't want to wear them all week long. I just want to be able to take them off. So I really like the Moxie Lash. So I went ahead and did some contouring on my nose and on my forehead and jawline and cheeks. I used Seint. This is the satin formula, I believe. Satin, which is a creamier version compared to their silk pencils, which are budge proof. The satin pencil is great for contouring, and I use the pepper shade, and you can see how I contoured. Now, the reason I reached for Seint, or another brand, in other words, is because I did not notice that Urban Decay had a dedicated contour product. Now, I did see where their makeup artist had suggested using the Quickie concealer as a contour, but I did not pick that up. And I would say try that if you're wanting to dedicate your time to the complete Urban Decay lineup. I would do the Quickie concealer, but I'm just loving this blush, or should I say eyeshadow, in Introvert for the cheeks. And I think the contour stick from Seint works really lovely. I didn't have any issue blending the contour stick over the foundation from Urban Decay. And again, we use the Face Bond. It has not been set with powder, it has not been set with setting spray, and it is very good. Okay, I have a couple of lip products to show you from Urban Decay. I'm really excited to finish off this look today. First of all, we have the 24/7 lip liner in 1993. So I do have a couple of the lip liners swatched right here. I believe 1993 is this color here. I'm not certain, but I just thought they had a beautiful assortment of neutrals and like muddy shades, bright shades. Can't go wrong with Urban Decay's pencils, so we're gonna try that on first. I'm excited. I'm loving this look so far. I know it's not like crazy innovative or anything, but it's beautiful. And I've used Christian Dior, I've used Seint products for years, and just loving this foundation. I'm gonna probably be reaching for this quite a bit, but this is the 1993 lip liner. Let's see if we can find a spot for this. So look at that color, and it's very, very smooth. I want to compare this to my Dior colors. So from Dior, and I love Dior lip liners. They're really long wearing. This is 259 Nude Ribbons. Let's go ahead and give a comparison. I hope that this is a little bit different than what I already have. There's Nude Ribbon, definitely more neutral. The Urban Decay is definitely more neutral than Nude Ribbon. And then I have one, I actually have a couple more. So let's see what we have. We have, this one is Nude Blush 329. And I have one more that I'm not going to reach for right now because it's in the bathroom. Nude Blush. Okay, so it's good to have a nice brownie color. So we achieved that with the Urban Decay. So smooth, just like the Dior. And I have such small lips. It's not even fair. But it adds, I mean, just lip liner. And this color, I can tell you already, is so nice. Ugh, this look is so pretty with the jean jacket. I am so happy that I've scored today. This with a lip gloss or a balm over the top would be fantastic. I love this color. That's nice. Okay, so 1993 it is for sure. Okay, and let's see what other products we have. I have the lip bond in Cuffed Up, and this is an unbreakable liquid lip color. And then I also have a lipstick that I just thought was so pretty. It's called Local. So we're gonna see what each of these look like. The Local is gonna give a lot of shine, so I have a feeling we're gonna use this last. And this is what it looks like. And this is another shaking lip product. You're gonna shake it. And this is the applicator. And let's see what it does, guys. Look at that. That's definitely not quiet. That's fun. And what a beautiful pink. I'm wondering if you could even use this on the cheek. Let's try it. It's very sticky on the cheeks, but it glides on nicely on the lips. And yes, I do think that you can use this on your face for a little bit more color. But I did like the Introvert as a blush. It worked very well. But this is going to be similar to our Seint lip tints that can be used on the cheeks. And I love just this ombre effect of soft muted pink eyeshadow with the lip bond. Wow. And let me put my glasses on. It says shake for 5 seconds before applying. And it says it's vegan, does not contain animal derived ingredients. And it's unbreakable color, intense and full color payoff that won't crack or feather. Transfer smudge and water resistant for the free, rebellious, and fun. And I think that's it. It's just transfer resistant. It definitely feels set, so let's try it out. I've got this part of my arm here, and it is Definitely kiss proof. Wow, I love it. It's so fun. I know this is not innovative. There's other products that work like this too, but I just love the color I selected. And I love this pink look. It's so pretty. And of course, we could have taken some of the glitter liners and some of the more fun pencils and done it up today, but I love these. These are definitely going to be staples. Let's go for that last product, the Shine, the Local. This is the Vice lipstick, high impact vegan lipstick. Local was a beautiful like mauve color. We're going to put this over the top just to add some shine. The packaging on this is gorgeous. So I love this packaging. I love this packaging. This is kind of cool. I don't know. It's got like a tattoo-esque look to it. And this is not bad. Kind of a very odd, you know, I would have liked to have seen more of this. This is definitely taking it Urban Decay glamorized for sure. So Urban Decay, this packaging is really good. And this packaging is really good. I love the looks of these, but this is like, this is where we need to be going. Kind of a crooked and dented case. Who thought of that? That's great marketing, guys. Great marketing. So we're going to take this out and we're going to swatch it. This is the color of the bullet. There was one shade called Party something. I can't remember. But Local was going to give us more of a mauve hue and the other one was more pinky. So we're going to try this on now. So let's try this right here. Very, very pretty color. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to put that over the top. I don't think it needs anything. I love this color by itself, this locking color. But this is going to give it the shine, guys. Wow. And this is in a lipstick. Let's try it on the cheeks. Because we, you know, their powder blushes are lacking, I feel. I haven't tried them, but these, you know, last two lip products work great on the cheek. If you like a little bit more color. Now, Urban Decay. Urban Decay. What happened to your bronzers? You are known for the baked bronzers back in the day. We need a bronzer. We need that shimmery bronzer again. We need it. Okay. Now we do have one more product. I'm not going to do a bronzer today. I have the contour. I think that's really fine. But we are going to try this glowing all-nighter makeup spray. This is brand new, reformulated. It is performance that stands the test of time, all-day wear, and it boosts the glow for a dewy finish. Glycerin base. So many of you guys love that glycerin base. So this is the glow formula. They have the original, and they have the matte, and then they have the glow. And I thought with that face bond makeup, let's do a glow. So we're gonna give it a nice shake. And I just wanna do this correctly. I want to make sure that I spray it. Let me put my glasses on within the recommended. Shake well and hold 6 to 8 inches from face, close eyes and mouth, and mist at least 10 times, it says. So I love that information. Very helpful. So here we go. 6 to 8 inches from face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Definitely giving that glow. We'll let it sit for a little bit and then I'll press it in with the Perfector sponge or beauty blender, whatever it's called. There is a slight stinging, not terrible. I don't get that stinging with the Dior spray. So let's just see. It must have alcohol or something in it. So this is definitely giving my skin glowiness. Kind of liked it before, but let's just see. Let's give it some time. I'm going to come in with this Perfector and just kind of, you know, press it in, help it out a little bit. Definitely left some glow, but not like glitter. I was kind of hoping for some glitter, you know, some shimmer. Just giving you that glow. I can't decide if I like it better now or better before. I think my skin may have looked more airbrushed before. I don't know. What do you guys think? But supposedly my makeup is set, and that's what we're paying for. We're paying for the makeup to be set. All right, I did notice that Urban Decay had a pressed powder, but it almost looked like it was a little bit too dark. It was only one color, so I didn't get it. It was a waterproofing powder. Maybe I should have tried it, but I have my tried and true Dior. This is the Dior Forever Nude Radiant Filter, and I really, really like this powder. I had almost grabbed the matte filter, but I thought this one just adds a nice brightening effect to the skin. So we're gonna just try some of the Dior powder and hopefully get kind of that brightening and airbrushing look. And I don't think it really needed it because the foundation was already quite blurring and perfected, but that just kind of adds another layer. So I'm gonna spray on my Miss Dior parfum from Dior. I love this. This smells so good on me. Urban Decay, maybe have an urban fragrance. That would be really fun. So here are my thoughts. This brand rocks. I love it. Of course, I want to encourage Urban Decay to continue coming out with these style of products. These are just fantastic. They still have their tried and true glitter eyeliners I didn't pick up today. They have a pen eyeliner that was great, cream eyeshadow. I'll be honest with you, the Naked palettes do not really, you know, catch my attention. I just don't like to have everything in a palette already curated. I like to go in like I do with my makeup brand Seint. I like to go in and be able to customize the colors that I want. So if Urban Decay wants to come out with a magnetic palette and then magnetic eyeshadows, that would be cool. But like the Naked palette idea, like I definitely swatch the colors and try them. They're really nice quality. But that just doesn't appeal to me. I don't want to be tied down to what's in the palette. I much more enjoyed going through the moon shadows and the liquid eyeshadows and the single eyeshadows and having fun with those colors that they had. What would help Urban Decay, I think some of this negativity is, you know, unwarranted. I think their makeup is still really pretty and really good. This is absolutely gorgeous. And if it truly is 24/7, I'm there for it. Absolutely. I should have gotten like a blue or a green eyeliner just to add that Urban Decay edge today. I should have done that for sure. But I think the most fun product was that red auburn mascara that I used. Can you see it still? Look at that. It definitely shows up. And I love the eyeshadow look. Definitely we could have applied like a pop of green or blue and had like a really fun like traditional Urban Decay look. I should have done that. I should have added that last product in. If Urban Decay wants to catch people's attention, you need a face. You need a model like Christian Dior and Chanel, the luxury brands. They have a girl, and every season they dress her up in a color scheme that suits that season. So we're looking for a seasonal color story with a model, a face of Urban Decay, and every season you come out with this Urban Decay color story. And I think people relate to that when they see the girl or whoever it is you want to have in there modeling your products. They're gonna gravitate towards your brand when they relate to the ad, when they relate to the person modeling it. So I think a good color story would be in order. But I'll definitely be picking up more products. I absolutely love this look, guys. So I am a Seint Artist affiliate. That is the makeup that I sell and love. But now I'm not sure, like this might bump Dior to number 3, and then this is number 2, and then Seint is number 1. I don't know, guys. It looks so good. It really does. I'm really happy with it. So make sure that If you are watching my videos, make sure that you like, that you subscribe, and that you keep watching. I would love to have more viewers and subscribers on here. So guys, I hope that this helped you today. Learn more about Urban Decay. Definitely love the brand. And I'll be trying more looks with the Urban Decay for sure in the future. So with that said, everybody have a great weekend. Hope this helped. Bye.